Broadcasting live from the moon and back, this is The Coin Chat, the most trusted voice for all things cryptocurrency. Each week we dissect an important issue and cut through the noise and misinformation out there in the world of blockchain, cryptocurrency, and ICOs, capturing the facts that truly matter to you that will give you an edge in this fast-moving emerging market. The who, what, where, when, and how of what you need to know in crypto to get ahead so you don't get left behind. Now here are your co-hosts, financial and crypto experts Yuri Cataldo and Steve Good.
Hey, this is Steve Good on the Coin Chat with Yuri Cataldo, and today we are joined by Anu Bhardwaj. Anu, welcome to the show. Anu, you're part of Qrypto Queens amongst many things in the world of crypto and blockchain, so welcome. Nice to have you.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
So why don't we start with Qrypto Queens, which is spelled with a Q, just for anybody who wants to check. And of course, we'll put all the links in the descriptions down below in our YouTube episode. But why don't we start with that? And just tell everybody what Qrypto Queens is about, and then we can kind of get into some of the other things you're involved with, because you've got some really cool stuff you're doing for women and for children and other things. So let's start there.
Thank you. So Qrypto Queens started approximately January 2018 at Davos. We were at the 17. We were at the World Economic Forum, and I decided to create a community of all these women that started reaching out, asking, what's going on with the market. At the time, we had this huge bull run, so there was a lot of interest, and people were wondering and asking questions. So we started this small Facebook community, which has now grown to about 2,500. It's a closed group of miners, traders, ICO investors, advisors, enthusiasts, influencers from all over the world. So anywhere from like Russia to Kenya, Australia, not just US centric, Europe, it's a global community. Yep. And 25% of this community is actually male, which is great. So we have some individuals who are very supportive of what we're trying to do. So we brought them along also. And Qrypto Queens has a newsletter now. So if you go on QryptoQueens.com, which is QRYPTO Queens.com, you can see a section where it says sign up, and you can get on our newsletter. It's bi-weekly. It's for free. You don't have to pay anything. And it's curated content that's designed specifically for women and millennials.
Cool.
What we've also done is we had a conference last November called Blockchain on the Beach at the Laguna Montage Resort, where we brought together 40 of our top women, and we asked them to bring their kids along also. And we had Crypto for Kids launched at this event, which you were mentioning. We do work with children as well. And during that conference, the children built their own Bitcoin mine from scratch, from computer parts.
Cool.
And we've created a video, and they also created their own podcast series, Crypto for Kids podcast, as well as video content, which will be released eventually. But we had them filmed in English and Russian and Japanese, and then also created an app for them, which is now in iOS and Android. If you look under K4K, it's a very, very simple game. It's just you create your own avatar, you create your own coin, and you can basically teach kids about digital currency that way. Like they just made their own money, and they can name it after themselves if they want it, which is
cool.
So simple, super easy.
That's really cool.
But the app is going to have more iterations. It's just a starting point, and we will add features as we go. And different companies have approached us saying, "Can I build this? Can I add that?" Which is great, and it's all kid centric. So NEM was our first partner, and we're talking to others now, and they're going to add more features. And so stay tuned for that. One of the functionalities is the donate function. We want kids to be part of the solution to some of the world's problems right now. So they can pick an issue they care about, whether it's water, hunger, climate, refugees. So it's a feature that's coming within K4K pretty soon.
Nice.
And on the same note, we're also building a women's wallet for our women's community called SHEQ, SHEQ. SHEQ wallets will be a digital crypto wallet that is multifunctional, and it's also got multi-currency. And we just signed an NDA with a very large blockchain engineering company who is interested in helping us with the back end. We've finished the front end, everything's done. And so now we're getting ready to launch that pretty soon. So we'll keep you posted on on when that's going to happen. But
So what would make a wallet a women's wallet, by the way, just out of curiosity?
It's the whole user experience, number one, and it's
Okay.
like some of the wallets out there are way too complicated. Ours is like simplified, and I'm just trying to get into a wallet has been traumatic for some of my friends who got PTSD.
Yeah, I can imagine. Just 0x ABC 1 2 3, and they're going, I don't get it. It's too much already. Right. So the whole UI is very much geared toward, but I presume it's also good for men who are also new to crypto and just trying to figure out, right? So
totally. And there's a lot of features in there that we don't see in other crypto wallets, and I'm not going to spoil the surprises. There's a lot of spoilers coming up in there.
Sure.
You just have to download it, get engaged into Qrypto Queens to find out, like, first. But it'll be announced there before anywhere else. And we've got a number of women who are all signing up to be beta testers at this stage. And so I've just done the rounds globally last year from like Kenya, Uganda, Australia, Russia, and really started talking to my community and saying, what is it that you want? What is it that you need? How are we going to get there? And then now I've got an amazing tech partner that's like, all right, we got this. You know, you've done that your homework. Now, I will say that Qrypto Queens is part of a broader community that I launched, which is called Women Investing in Women. Mm-hmm. And don't let the name scare you. 55% are actually men on this platform. And it is those brothers, fathers, boyfriends, husbands, significant others that are saying, you know what, we want you to have exactly what we have, and why should you be left out of the conversation? And so we've been really fortunate that the way that we've curated our content, it's not offensive to men, and by no means is it something that you can't participate in. We've actively encouraged men to come along this conversation, because the only way we're going to get to equality is by doing it together. It's not to sideline anyone. So Women Investing in Women, if you can find out more about us on Facebook, we've got a community of 1 million followers. 95% of them are millennials. So this is the next generation. Wow. If you really want to see an impact in what's going to happen on the planet, we need to reach them. We need to reach them and get them engaged, right? So on this stage,
well, it might even be not even Gen X anymore. It might even be Gen Y, which is just the next level beyond millennials, which we haven't even come up with a name for yet. But
Alpha.
I think there's something to be said that there's probably more around that group even.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got Gen Zs and Gen Alpha. I mean, that's what they're the alpha. Or
we're down to Zs and Alphas now?
Yeah.
We moved to the Greeks now. We moved from the Romans to the Greek letters because we ran out of, fair enough.
But I don't see why they skipped everything in between, right? So they skipped like beta, gamma, and all those other ones, epsilons, and it just went into alphas all of a sudden.
Right. So Anu, before we go into more detail about your current projects, would you walk us down the path of how you got interested in blockchain and cryptocurrency?
Absolutely. So I first heard about cryptocurrency at a dinner party in New York, and a girlfriend of mine, she now works at Consensus, and we were sitting at the table at, I think it was a wedding or some kind of a fancy event, and she said, we're talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum and various cryptos, and the conversation was, what should we invest in? Should we do Ethereum or should we do Bitcoin? And she said, well, I bought Ethereum when it was $8, and by then it was probably high 800s or whatever it was. And she said, I'm not telling you how much I bought, but I did well. And so we were basically joking that she had a thong made out of gold, and every time she walks through the security would go up. We're like, yeah, that's what you did with the money. It's like it's gold, whatever. So it was a joke, and at the time I was like, yeah, whatever, it's a phase. Like, she'll just whatever. And then I ran into her at the World Economic Forum again, and the currency just kept escalating. And I was like, wow, you must have done really well, because it was stuck in my mind. Mm-hmm. And at that point, I had invested some capital into a fund, and that fund was looking at altcoins and ICOs and things like that. I didn't personally manage it, but I had somebody looking at it for me. Mm-hmm. And it started to move as all currency did at that time.
Yep.
And then really curious, how this whole ecosystem works. Because my background before starting media was in private equity. And I used to raise private equity funds, venture capital funds, fund of funds with U.S. fund managers going overseas to the Nordics and the Middle East. And we raised close to $750 million for those people. Mm-hmm. But at any time, if you look at each individual fund, there was never more than a 2-digit return. So it was like 30s, 40s, maybe. I had a Russia fund once that had like quadruple digit returns, very special fund, but unusual. Like that's emerging markets for you. Mm-hmm. And when I saw the numbers that were happening with crypto, triple digit, quadruple digit numbers, and if you look at Bitcoin from when it first started until now, there's a statistic that said it went up 700,000%. The price that it is now, right? From that peak. And so the thing is, it's like you don't see this normally in normal markets. And so at that point I was like, this is wonderful. I've got the information, but how do I share it with everybody else? Because I'm in this space where we can use media and podcasts. It's like, how do I get this to other people? And I started looking at the stats, and only 3% or 4% at that time were women engaged in cryptocurrency trading. And then I thought, wow, there's the opportunity. We really need to educate them and bring them on board. And I started this small group, this closed group within Facebook, where we can actually like, post and share comments. And in that group, I had asked someone about airdrops. And I said, how many of you are buying crypto, and how many of you just rely on airdrops? And or what service would you use? And we're talking about exchanges. And one lady posted, and she said, I've never actually bought a coin, but I've received airdrops, and I take every single one of them, and I use the exchanges, and I've made $70,000.
What?
Wow.
70,000 from airdrops. They must have been big airdrops in the early days, because they're $2-3 normally.
$2 or $3, but she just kept reinvesting, and then ultimately the aggregation of what she makes.
That's crazy.
Wow. Single mother, African American, and again, it's a success story. And I was like, you should be teaching this.
I will take that class.
She should be on this show teaching us how to do this. We've done
exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But she's ours. So there.
This is an open platform. We have no possession of anybody, by the way.
That's right.
Awesome. No, but I'm possessive of her. I'm like, you're gonna do a whole proper series. Like, she needs a series to herself. She needs a series to herself, honestly.
Right.
So anyway, at that point, I realized we have something. We have something super valuable, which is inspiration and hope. And you give this to people in countries where they don't have access. Now, of course, we need to teach them how to use it responsibly and how to invest wisely. And people could actually lose their money. That happened. We saw that happen last year.
Right.
But at the same time, greed, right? We can't control greed ultimately. And so the thing is with these women, it's a question of, they have never seen this kind of money before in their life. And they're all actually taking control of their own financial situation. So if you look at angel investing, you look at crowdfunding, you look at private equity, there's thresholds, there's barriers. You need to be accredited. You have to have a certain number of assets, right? You have to have certain criteria. And if you look at women who want to invest, whether they can invest, it's not going to happen in their lifetime. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
And so they get shut out of the good deals. And now it's a question of, if they can invest at the coin level at like 50 cents, $1, we were talking earlier, like, airdrops, they could be minimal. Roger Ver actually loaded Bitcoin Cash wallet on my phone, and Bitcoin Cash, and he gave my daughter like $10 and whatever. So that $10 has actually grown. So the thing is, there's a way for us to teach these women at a very micro level what is investing. And that to me is like intriguing, but it's also what a great opportunity, because I'm not telling you to go into an angel deal where your money is locked up for how long? Like, you don't even know, and you need to be accredited. Like, let's be real now. And the types of women that go into this, like, are not your, let's make decisions very quickly type they were going to do a lot of diligence and so on and so forth. But if we say $3, $5, $10, that's an amount that's available to people who are buying Starbucks every day or once,
Yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Or buying their groceries every day.